Hi, hello everyone. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by today and checking in with me for another Ruby Tuesday DT project. As you can see, today's project share is some holiday prep and gift giving ideas. So before I start with, please excuse my hand gestures throughout the video because I initially recorded this video while talking and usually it doesn't work that way and I end up with voiceover. Okay, let's get started. The first idea is gift wrapping using digitals. And for this, I chose her two recent Christmas kits, The Stars Shining Bright and Christmas Morning. And I picked a wallpaper print. And the rest are scraps from my last journal project, along with some junk papers or papers that we might have quite a bit of that we could repurpose. Well, for gift wrapping, we would think it's going to be using a lot of ink to wrap big presents. That's where I use the junk or repurposed paper and decorate it with the digitals. For smaller presents, I think it's reasonable to wrap the presents with prints as it's really pretty. And of course, you can use other digitals or any other paper you prefer. This is just a suggestion. And also, this can be used at any season, which I usually do. So right here, I'm showing how I wrap this box with that print. The it's like a brown paper with polka dots and the red and green rose print, and it's very pretty. It goes perfectly fine, perfectly with my brown paper packaging, which is what I mainly use for wrapping the big presents. And I decorated it with that gold ribbon trim. It's a wide ribbon trim that I thrifted, but of course you could use anything that you have in your stash, lace, whatever ribbon that may be suitable. I just happen to have that, and I think it goes well with the season. Here next, I wrapped kind of like a jar that I wrapped entirely with the same print of paper and decorated it with that gold trim. Next, I think I have this box that is a reusable box. Okay, so this is something that I would be able to reuse over and over, not only for Christmas. And I have something in there actually, but I won't be opening it. So that's a pattern from the same kit. I can't remember which one of the two. So those are basically the two prints that I'll probably use more of the red and green roses print for if ever I have anything else to wrap. Here next, I'm showing this brown paper packaging, which are like kind of like partly shredded, and I love this brown paper packaging because of the texture. And see how I think, at least for me, I think it looks very pretty. And then since it's a little bigger of size present, I wrap it with that brown paper and then decorated it with a strip of Heather's Digital. And so as not to cover the digital, I decorated it with hemp twine. Next, I wrapped this, I think it's a tin of tea that I wrapped with book pages. Again, for small presents, I mean, we could also wrap, if we have plenty of book pages, large book pages, we could wrap an entire big box with book pages. And I think it's pretty if you wrap everything with the same paper. And like in here, I accented it with a traced circle of the other green print from this Christmas kit. I have a bigger box of present, which I wrapped entirely with brown paper packaging. I don't mind that wrinkled from the paper because that's how it is when you unwrap it from the packages. And to decorate it, I decorated it with a trim of an embossed brown paper in a different tone. And to make it a ruby and pearl present, I decorated it with a strip of torn print from the same print that I used, because I intend to use that just single print for gift wrapping if I have any other presents to wrap. So that's one other way that we use prints. We could use prints. And the last box of present I did is this reusable embossed brown paper packaging box, which I actually have a video of how I created a brown paper box with the embossed brown papers. If you want to watch it, you can check it out. But for this, this takes a little time, but I did this for this box because this is a reusable box. I have actually used this box for over 10 years for giving presents to my daughter. I like giving her, and she likes receiving those collection of little things, actually some little and big things that fit in this box. But since I'm doing this project, I decided to make it prettier. It used to have like geometric orange print that I don't even wrap. I just tie it with a bow, not even this bow, something else. But for this project, I made it. And so how I made it Ruby and Pearl project is I lined the inside of it with the pretty wallpaper, and that's what inspired me to color the embossing. I was planning to just gild it with plain kind of like gold gilding, which I did in my previous project, but I was inspired with that beautiful wallpaper, and I picked that wallpaper particularly. It's not Christmassy, but you know, the way Heather did this kit is really speaks to me, because I like decorating with nature, and she made it that the holidays and the nature go well together. So I think this wallpaper could be a Christmas themed print also, but it's reusable. And also I specifically picked that because those are my daughter's favorite colors: pink, blue, and teal. And I know I will be using this box for many years to come, hopefully. That's why I spent time doing this. So that's something someone could do with if you have some time to spare, or maybe some smaller box. Here I have added a flower paper topper on the big brown gift box earlier that I have made out of tissue paper and sewing paper patterns. And Heather of Ruby and Pearl also had a video on how she made that out of wax papers. Last gift wrapping paper are maps. If you have quite a bit of maps, I think they are so unique and beautiful. With this one, I trimmed it with a little bit of embossed white copy paper and a strip of that the pink, blue, and green wallpaper print from one of her wallpaper kits. And yeah, any other papers that we may have quite a bit of, I think would be very nice gift wrapping papers for the holidays or for any occasions at all. And it's kind of unique, and also helps a little bit with the environment. Next is actually a present that we could give using Heather's beautiful words kit, and I did a DT project for this, so if you want to check it out, that's something, I mean, I think that would be a nice present for someone who love quotes, or who needs who wants some inspirational words, or some junk journalers like us. And for this one, we don't even have to do that type of binding that I used in this. We could just do a simple, maybe a 2-hole pamphlet stitch with several pages for a signature. And if that's a little too much to make, which that one was like really simple. It's just the binding that's a little bit complicated. We could do this little decks of cards with the same kit from the beautiful words. For this particular one, I printed two to a page of the per page of her prints. But if you want something slightly bigger, you could just print it as is and then just cut it up to sizes. So again, that's one simple gift for someone who might be interested in this. And as for me personally, I don't buy a lot of presents because in our family we have a big extended family and we have a lot of kids in our family. And for me, it's difficult to buy presents for everyone. So what I usually do is get something for the family and then I give cash for the kids or gift cards. And even though it's just cash or gift card, the crafter in me always wants to put it in something nice and presentable. So I always kind of like make something handmade out of this, even before I was journal making. And since I started last year using Heather's Digital, and I fell for her little chateaus. And if you have seen any of my DT projects, I always add a version of her little chateau that I adapt to the theme of that. So last year I made a bunch of this. I think I made 40 out of this. So what I did last year was just a single page of kind of like a gift tag slash cash gift card holder and a decor that I did it like this, but it's only a single page where I attach the coin pocket that I actually also handmade. But now Heather has like that coin pocket in one of her green kits. So to make it different this year, I made it instead like greeting cards. I just showed that one with the trim to hang, and I think I inserted a little snip in here of a photo that I actually did last year for to recreate this little chateaus. I'll put a link on Heather's video on how she made this, and these are so fun to make, and they're actually all made from scraps. But for this year, I am making a different kind of cash gift card tag holders, and this is what I made for this year's gift giving for my personal use. So I made some kind of like paper bubbles, Christmas decor slash gift card holders. Actually, they could also be greeting cards, and I'm showing some in here, and probably I'll show the rest. And I have a little I mean, maybe it's probably quite a long video, but I'll try to cut it down because I know this video is already long enough. And it's also so fun to make this. So I made this out of the prints from her two Christmas kits this year, and I used a lot of scraps from my previous projects that work well together with this. So here's a little process of how I made it. I really can't I wanted to create some tutorial hopefully in the future, but this is very new to me, and recording alone is quite hard. So just probably I'm showing a little of the process of how I created this. So for this particular project, I have used the base for those circles, some repurposed cardboards from the spools of ribbons. We have quite a bit, between me and my daughter, we have quite a bit of ribbons because we used to make corsages and boutonnieres for proms when she was in high school, for proms and events. And this year I organized my all those ribbons, so I saved this circle cardboards. That saves me the time of cutting, and actually I didn't have enough for the number of cards or decors I'm making. So I used some of the cardboard from flyers, but you could also use cereal boxes and cracker boxes. And I covered one side with the brown paper packaging so I can write a sentiment on that. Some of the ones I created, I used book pages. I forgot that I need to leave space for if I need to write some notes in there. So I used the two prints, selected the prints. If you want to make it faster so you don't have to stick papers over the cardboard or the cardstock, we could print the digitals, the prints in a cardstock and back it with a plain or a print that's you could have some space to write on. And I think I made one of them in here. So in here I'm showing that I just put over the circle. You could use, I actually used a jar cover to trace the circle for the ones that I didn't have enough of the scrap round cardboards. And for this, you could actually trace it with pencil, but to make it faster in the video, I'm just like cutting it out. So I put the circle that I am cutting out where the image that I want is kind of like centered. So I'll leave the video to music. I'll just pop in and out if I see something that I did. This is pretty much self-explanatory, and also so I could speed up the video so it won't be this long. I'll see you later. I'm showing in here how I made a little template of a bell-shaped kind of like tab that I will use as a, I don't know what to call it, holder, maybe just a tab. So I just traced it off some scraps like cardstock scraps from my previous projects. I saved all those strips of cardstocks, papers, and everything for any of my projects. So I'll use it, using it there to be the holder. I cut a strip of a rectangle cardstock to be the hinge at the bottom of the two circles to connect the two uh, circle cardstocks. And it doesn't matter that it has a design or not because I'm gonna be covering it with a little gold trim later. Next, I'm adding a bit of gold trim at the bottom of the circles. And these were just scraps also from the bows earlier. And I glued it with the fabric tack. You would just pinch it for a little bit. And I made a little like fold or shear to kind of like make like the bow. And if you pinch it for a little bit, fabric tack sets really quick. But since I did quite a bit earlier, all those on the side there, I used a binder paper clip to make it faster so I could move on to the next one. This is kind of like a mass production that I did. Here I'm showing how I made it with the scrap cardboard cardstocks from the ribbon spools and the junk mail cardstocks, where I covered the inside with brown paper packaging so that I have blank space to write notes. Now I'm hinging the two circles with a scrap cardstock, and then I will be gluing the image over those circles. Yeah, this one takes a little bit longer, but I wanted to use the scrap papers and cardstocks there. So I was just cutting out the circle through those images. This particular image are a little bigger, so I have used both the focal points for these two circles here. But the ones that I had shown earlier where Heather had those four kind of like card images, I picked the focal point to where I got the circles, and then all those scraps around it, I used it in the back side of the cards. So I collaged those. Some of them has images also, like smaller images. I collaged those scraps in the back and mixed it up with some of my scraps from the previous project and some brown papers, embossed papers, and they all look good. Collages look good. Um, I think you will all agree with that. And I think I'll show some pictures at the end of the back and the front and the back of those finished card tags. Okay, now I'm adding a little bit of gold polish gilding and around the circles, just very light. And the one I'm using here is from Creative Expressions. It's water based, and I like it because it's versatile. I use it um, like watercolor, and I can also use it thick to get some texture. Now I'm trimming the edges. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know. Um, what am I doing next? Oh, I wanted to reinforce the bell. They're cardstocks. It doesn't really need to be reinforced, but I was thinking sometimes some of the people I give those with, they keep it as decor, so just to make it last a little bit longer. And I probably am using of some of this decors first in my mantle before giving it out. So I just glued some punched circles. That's how I do my reinforcers. Whole reinforcers. I punch out scrap pieces of cardstocks and save it up in a little box there so that it's ready when I need it. And I try to save as much so I have a good selection of colors. Now I'm punching uh, holes through the tabs. That's where I'm gonna be adding the some of them. I added little charms and a string, or for most of this I use this mesh, glittered mesh that is uh, reused. Also, I use it from a previous project where I created a box, like the video that I mentioned earlier, where I created the embossed box, because I used that for flower arrangement. I kind of like decorated it with those with that gold mesh with glitters, and I reused that box to store this cards in there. And then there was a trim around it with this tool, glittered tool, and I used them up, cut them up to pieces, so they will be the string to hang it for decor, or hang it for, I'm planning to attach it to probably one box to give to the whole family. And I added a little bit of extra charm. You don't have to. We could stop with just that. I made quite a bit. Some of them are shakers, like I'm showing here. I made some with mesh. I have a little snowflake sequin there, or confetti. I even made a simple pop up in a couple of them. I think I lost the clip. I thought I was recording, but I did not, and I couldn't repeat it. So here I'm adding. I think I can't find my jingle bell, so I grabbed that little charm that I made previously on. I think I posted that on Instagram, with a bird's nest with a little bird's eggs out of beads, and I added those specifically to the prints with the birds, but I can't find my jingle bells for this particular tag, so I just attached that one. I forgot to show the to add some the glass glitter around the circles, which I did in all of this. I did eventually, but yeah. See, that's why I can't make a tutorial. So the video is coming to an end. I showed some clips of all the different ones that I created with different trims. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I think this might be my last DT project for the year. With the holidays, it gets so busy, and I wanted to get back to a lot of other projects that I have started and set aside, and of course that includes DT project also for Ruby and Pearl. So if I don't see you again before the year ends, I wish you all a wonderful holiday season, a peaceful, safe one, and you have a good day. Thank you.